Hello and welcome to the 54th episode of the Sock Bunny Knit and Fit video podcast. My name is Kimberly, also known as Sock Bunny, and today is Tuesday, September 11th, 2012. I'm recording in sunny Florida in the United States of America. It's a very beautiful day. We have had some rain off and on over the past few weeks. We had some pretty bad storms coming through, but today is not too bad. It is overcast. The weather this time of year tends to drive my sinuses completely crazy. The barometric pressure, I guess, dropping and so forth causes me to have a lot of sinus issues and a lot of sinus headaches, and that's the reason I didn't record the last couple of weeks, because I've been feeling really crummy, and I'm still not feeling really great, but I couldn't stand not podcasting, so I decided today that I was going to podcast even if I had to do it from bed. So lucky for you, I'm out of my pajamas and able to podcast today, thank goodness. It's not like I'm dying from it or anything, but it's just really, really annoying to have the constant sneezing and pressure and headaches and all that fun kind of stuff. And it's definitely this time of year when we have all the afternoon thunderstorms and all that fun kind of stuff. So, like I said, I am Sock Bunny, and you can find me as Sock Bunny on Ravelry, Plurk, Instagram, Google+, iTunes, and Blip TV. The blog is at sockbunnyknitandfit.blogspot.com. The email address is sockbunnyknitandfit@gmail.com, and on Etsy, my shop is sockbunnystudios.etsy.com. Oh, excuse me. We currently have 385 members in the Ravelry group, and we get to 400 members, we are going to have a drawing. If you want to be part of the drawing, you need to be a member of the Ravelry group, and you also need to go over to the thread. There's a thread in the Ravelry group that's I say something like post your favorite Sock Bunny moment or something you like about the podcast, something like that. It's near the top of the Ravelry group. And so if you want to be in the prize drawing for the 400 members, you need to go over and post something in there. I have some prizes to give out, so I'm going to do that. I went ahead right before I started podcasting and I drew all the winners. So I've been having the Name the Recovery Buddy contest number 2 and 3, and I drew those winners. I was going to have Rachel pick them out for me, but she just, has never been available when I've needed her to do it. So I just used random number generator and picked the winners. So for Recovery Buddy number 2, the winner was number 8, and I don't know how she says her username, but it's ANGEISHIP, and it's Andrea from Canada. So Andrea, get a hold of me, and you won a $5 or less giftable pattern from Ravelry. So just let me know which pattern you would like, and I'll send that over to you. It needs to be giftable. And then the winner for Recovery Buddy number 3 also wins the same thing, a $5 or less pattern, giftable pattern from Ravelry. And that winner was Beltway Spinner Monica, and she's here in Florida. And I've met Monica. She actually used to live in the Tampa Bay area and came to our local knitting group a couple of times while I was there. So congratulations to Andrea and Monica. Just let me know which patterns you guys would like. And the limit is $5, but like say there's 2 patterns that you want that add up to $5, that's definitely doable. So just let me know what you would like, and congratulations. And thanks for helping me out, because I'm not a very creative writer at all. I also want to say thank you to the test knitters for the pie shawl. I am releasing tonight after this podcast uploads, and I have access to the computer. I am going to upload the pattern for the pie shawl that I designed. I showed it a few weeks ago, maybe a couple of months ago now. It's a pie shawl, which is a circular shawl, and it has beads on it. This is going to be a free pattern. It's called Paprika Spice Simple Pie Shawl. It's a very easy pie shawl. Basically, if you know how to knit, purl, and yarn over, you will be able to do this. Yarn over and knit 2 together. And the placing the beads is way easier than you think it's going to be. And there are a lot of tutorials. I linked to some of the tutorials in the pattern. There are a lot of tutorials on YouTube and places like that to show you how to do it. And but several of the people that were test knitters had never done beads before and liked doing them. So I wanted to show you a close-up of the beaded section here. And like I said when I showed this the first time, I would make it bigger if I was making it. If I wasn't in such a hurry to be my own test knitter, I would have made it bigger. And I probably will knit another one of these, and I will make it bigger. So, and this is using Patton's lace, which I purchased at Joann's, which is if you're not in the United States, that's a craft store, a national craft store here in the United States. So that will be released tonight, September 11th. And again, that's called Paprika Spice Simple Pie Shawl, and it's a free pattern. And thank you to all the test knitters. I will be, next week I'll tell you the names of all the test knitters. And our fitness along for August, I have the winner for that. The winner is number 191, who is Woolly Girl, Jennifer from North Carolina. Congratulations. Her post that won, she posted that she was doing some belly dancing, which I think is really cool. And so, Jennifer, you win either a $5 giftable pattern from Ravelry, or you can pick out, you can tell me that you want some either fiber or yarn, and just tell me which weight you would like if you choose yarn, and I will dye it in up to 3 colors for you. So congratulations, Jennifer, for that. And I will be talking about the fitness along in just a minute. So let's talk about what today's topics are now that we've done all this yakking. Today's topics are fitness, finished objects, works in progress, knit and crochet alongs, a book review, spinning, look what I made, stash enhancement, tips and tricks, charity, favorite things, and what I am watching and reading. So, fitness along. If you work out at least 30 minutes on any given day, you can go to the Sock Bunny group. You do need to be a member of the group to participate in this, but you go over to the group, find the correct thread, and post your workout for the day. Just put each day's workout in a separate thread, but it doesn't have to be on that day. Like, say, you work out over the weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You could post, you know, those days maybe on Monday, but just post each day in a separate entry, a separate post. My brain. So that gives you more chances to win, basically, is what I'm trying to say. So the like I said before, the winner gets to choose either a $5 giftable pattern or some bare yarn or fiber that I will dye up for them in up to 3 colors. And I track my fitness minutes and fitness mileage on Spark People, and I have Sock Bunny 66. I have a big poster that I'm tracking on, but I'm not going to show it to you because I have done very little working out in the last couple of weeks because I have just been really, really out of it. On October 20th, I am going to be doing a fundraiser walk for the American Cancer Society, and I will post the link in the Ravelry group and on the blog if you would like to make a donation for that. My goal that I'm trying to get to is $250, and I think I'm currently around $90. My Etsy shop, which is Sock Bunny Studios, $1 from every fiber or yarn that I sell is also going to be donated to that. So I don't know what the total is on that yet, probably like $9 or $10 or something like that. So, no, actually I think it would be more than that. Anyway, I'll have the total, so between now and October 20th, anything that I sell in the Etsy shop that is yarn or fiber, if you buy it, $1 of that purchase is going to go towards the walk for American Cancer Society. And that's it for fitness. Not a whole lot going on with that. I'm hoping, I really, while this is uploading, I need to go for a walk because I think it'll do me good to get out of the house, even if I'm sneezing my head off. Okay, let's talk about the fun knitting part. The first thing I want to show you is something that is not my normal thing that I like to knit. As you might have heard me say before, I don't really enjoy knitting toys, but I think part of it is I've always had a deadline, and I've been using not so wonderful yarn for the toys, like acrylic. Not that I'm a snob, because you know I'm not a yarn snob. But, so, I did knit the Bot Bite. This is designed by Jenna of the Retro Lemon Studios podcast. It's a free pattern, and here she is. This is a Bot Bite, and I did name her Jenna. Look how cute she is. assimilated. He. Hi. Isn't she adorable? I'm going to use this same yarn. This is some yarn that I dyed. And I'm going to be using this same yarn to knit one of my daughter's classmates a pair of socks. And here's the yarn that I had dyed. So I am going to give this bot bite to her since it's going to match her socks. And I'm going to be casting these socks on probably this week. So that's the first finished object, and I only have one other finished object, and it's a big, big deal. I finished my John John socks. If you're a new viewer, the bunny rabbit in my avatar, I've had him since I was little, and his name is John John, and to me he's a real person, and I make him talk, and he's right here because he wants to introduce, he wants to say hi. Hi! And he also wants to show you the socks, because I finished them. Here, you hold one. I'll hold the other. There we go. Yay! How do you like them? I love them! So this yarn is by Desert Vista Dye Works. She custom dyed, I'm dropping them. She custom dyed this yarn to match John John just from my avatar, and I think she did a fabulous job. I don't know which is better looking, the socks or the rabbit. Okay, the rabbit. But I love these socks. They will always and forever be my ultimate favorite socks. I love, love, love them. And I am saving them. I'm not going to wear them yet because in a week and a half I'll be going to an event here in Florida called Florida Fiber Run, which is a small fiber event in Orlando. And I'm going to wear these. I'll break them in when I'm spinning. So I'm really excited about that. So thank you, Susan, for dyeing this yarn for me because it is just, oh, I love it so much. These will always be my favorite socks. Always, always, always. So John John highly approves of them. Bye, everybody. He's going to go over there and take a nap now. Okay, so those are my two finished objects. I do have quite a few works in progress. I haven't really been feeling much like doing much knitting. I've been doing more spinning than knitting. But I do want to show you what I've been working on. I started a new project. This is a pattern that I was gifted a few months ago by Sam from the Knit Run Dig podcast. It's TGV High Speed Knitting by Susan Ashcroft. And here is what it looks like. It's a shawl that's got a ribbed edging, basically. And so I decided, because this yarn has been calling to me. This is some of the yarn that I had dyed, and I had put it in my shop, and it hasn't sold yet, and I've been wanting to knit with it anyway. So this is some sparkly sock yarn. It's actually not quite as yellow red as it's showing there, but you can see the sparkles. Let me hold it back here. That's a little bit more accurate. Let's see. There you go. That's a little bit more accurate. So I did cast it on. I just worked on it one evening, so I haven't gotten a whole lot done. But this yarn is pretty springy. I thought with the sparkle yarns that it would be rough to have the sparkles in there, but that's not the case at all. You can't even feel them. So very, very much in love with this yarn. So that's the TGV High Speed Knitting. And then I currently have a hat charity, which I will be talking about later, but for now, this is the first hat that I'm working on, and I haven't finished it yet, but I'm getting close. I think this has to go, I think I have maybe about 4 more inches, no, maybe about 2 or 3 more inches to go. But this is also yarn that I dyed in black and maroon. In gray and maroon, actually, because it's for, the charity is for men's hats and scarves. So I really need to finish that because I want to do at least 2, maybe 3 hats, and that's only the first one, so I really need to get hopping on that. And then I finished a sock. Just finished this sock yesterday. This is this yarn is Groovy by Lollipop Yarns. And then the black is some that I dyed. It's the same yarn as the red sparkly, but this is black sparkly. And I really like it with the black heel and toe because I think it makes the colors stand out a lot more. So that's a 1/2 of a finished object. I guess you can't count a sock as a finished object, right? So I'll be casting on that second sock very soon. I love, love, love that yarn. And then I am working on the a baby blanket for charity for the 3 Stitches podcast. They are having a pre-meet blanket knit and crochet along for their local NICU. So it's so big, you probably can't even see it all on here. It's 30 inches wide. I love this yarn. I really need to spend more time on this too because I need it. This is due, they have to have it by October 14th. And the yarn, which I forgot last time to show you the ball band, is Bernat Baby Jacquard Florals. And I have been wanting to have an excuse to use this yarn forever because I love orange. I love bright colors, but I love it because it does the faux Fair Isle, which you can see there. So I really like that. And I'm crocheting that. And next is the last work in progress that I'm working on right now is another pair of socks. This pair of socks I'm working on for the, Diane from Knittables. My brain stopped for a second. Diane from Knittables is having a stripy sock knit along in September and October. And this is the Vanilla Latte pattern. It's a free pattern. A lot of people are doing this pattern evidently. And I am doing, this pattern does have a heel flap. That's my favorite kind of sock to do. I like the afterthought heels okay, but for as far as wear and tear and comfort and fit, I do like a heel flap. So I got the Rogue crazy extra stripe there on the front, which is sometimes what happens, but that's okay. Most of the time when I wear these socks out of the house, I have on dress pants and I'm wearing them with like some loafers. So really the only part of the sock that gets seen is the top of the foot. So it really doesn't matter if there's some weird extra stripe there. Plus, they're for me and I love them. Love, love, love. And this yarn was given to me by 3U's Twisted in Fiber. She donated, if you remember recently, she donated a ball to me and a ball to a viewer. Alright, so those are all my works in progress. Upcoming knit-alongs and crochet-alongs and events. Like I mentioned earlier, in September 21st through the 23rd in Orlando, I will be at the Florida Fiber End. So if you see me, please come say hi. I will have some podcast buttons to give away. Polly Knits, he has a podcast, and he's having a Halloween dye-along for the month of September, which I will be taking part in. I did order some fiber and some yarn, and I just haven't had time or the energy basically to dye it. But I will be doing that sometime later this week, so I'll be entering. Basically, you can dye any yarn that you want, and as long as you think it's a Halloween colorway and you give it a Halloween colorway name, then it counts for his dye-along. And he is going to have prizes, I think. I'm pretty sure. Lauren from the Blem Knit Crochet podcast is having a FATT, F-A-T-T, knit along and crochet along, and that means finish all the things. I'm not sure what the end date is, but if you started something a while back and then you finish it now, you can enter it into her knit along or crochet along. October, I will be knitting something pink to celebrate Pinktober with the Knitting Den and the Knit Nerd podcasts. And in October and November, Wolf Farms Dawn is having a knit along and crochet along using cakewalk yarns, which I did get some, and I'll show you when I get to the stash enhancement section. And then the podcast A Spinner's World is having a spin along through November 30th, and as long as you spin at least, I can't remember, I think she said, oh, now I can't remember if it's 2 ounces or 4 ounces. You'll have to look in the thread. But so anything you spin, if you start it after September 1st and finish it before November 30th, you can enter that in her spin along, which I entered something which you will be seeing shortly. Okay. I'm just making sure I haven't skipped anything again, because I did skip some things the last time I podcasted, so I just want to make sure that I haven't. Okay, I do have a book review, and I'm going to start reviewing. I do have quite a few knitting books. Some of them are older, some of them are newer, so I'm going to review my knitting books just so you can see what I have, basically, and add content to the... Anyway, I don't need to explain that. Oh, loopy brain. Alright, so this is my favorite sock book. I learned to knit socks from this book. I had started knitting at the end of September, and by like January or February, I had already started knitting socks. So, this is the book, Sensational Knitted Socks. It is a classic. It's by Charlene, I'm not sure how you say her, Charlene Church, or, yeah, I don't know. Schurch. She does have a second one, more Sensational Knitted Socks, that I think I loaned to somebody and I haven't gotten it back because I can't find it anywhere. But it's probably, or it could be just somewhere around here. Anyway, this book, when I got it, I had only ever knit, I had knit a bag, not even in the round. I knit it flat, and I had knit dishcloths. I had not knit anything in the round when I started. Oh wait, no, I think I had knit a hat too. I'm pretty sure, yes, I had knit a hat. So I had very little knitting experience, but between this book and YouTube, I was able to knit socks. She does explain 3 different ways. She has some really good information in here for beginner sock knitters. Like she shows the anatomy of a sock. And I remember when I was a new knitter, I just read this book over and over and over and over and over again. She does have size charts that will tell you, like, if a person wears a certain shoe size, how long the sock needs to be, and those kinds of things, which is very invaluable. She has some knitting techniques in here, and then she has a class sock that you do. Let me try to find that page. Okay, so she has a class sock, and you can see that she has 3 different ways that you can knit a sock with this book, either using 4 double-pointed needles, 5 double-pointed needles, or 2 circular needles. I currently mostly do magic loop, which is with 1 long circular needle, but when I am teaching somebody how to knit socks, I teach them with 2 circular needles. To me, it's less confusing because you have a front needle and a back needle. After you understand that concept, and if you want to switch to magic loop, that I think is a great idea. But when I am teaching somebody how to knit socks, I have them get this book and I have them get 2 circular needles. That's the way that I teach. So, and I've had really good success with that, with people understanding. I mean, unless they're an avid knitter who understands magic loop and all that kind of stuff, then, you know, I'll teach them magic loop or whichever method they want. But if it's somebody who's relatively new to knitting and new to sock knitting, this is the way that I go. So she has you knit a class sock just to understand, you know, the concepts and all that before and you can knit it on big needles and bulky yarn so that you're not like getting frustrated by tiny needles and tiny yarn and all that kind of stuff. So she has a lot of awesome patterns in here, and they're grouped by category. Like here are some 4-stitch ribbing patterns, and then she has some 5-stitch patterns. And a 5-stitch pattern or a 4-stitch pattern basically means the number of stitches on your needles is divisible by that. So, you know, because a pattern could be like a 5-stitch pattern could be a knit 3, purl 2, or something like that. So, she also has 6-stitch patterns. And she does use a variety of yarns in here, which I like. 8-stitch patterns. And if I find my second book, I will review that one. I like the second book enough to where I might buy it again if I can't find it. Here we have some 12-stitch patterns. And I have to say that when I started knitting out of this book, I was scared. And I mean scared. She does have some cabled patterns. because I didn't have a lot of knitting experience. I had so little knitting experience that I couldn't even knit a pattern if you had to start with a yarn over. I had no idea how to do that. So any pattern in this book that started with a yarn over, I couldn't knit it. Fortunately, my friend Michelle, I met her, and she became my knitting mentor, and she was able to help me learn those kinds of things. Because, seriously, now I know. Now, it's been 5 years or 6 years. It's been 5 or 6 years. I could knit any sock in this book now. But back then, I was so limited in my knitting abilities that I would look at this book and be like, oh, someday I want to be able to knit that, you know. And now I've reached that point. So I'm going to do my tip and trick early in the podcast. My tip or trick is, just because you can't knit something now doesn't mean that you won't be able to later. And just because you like something now doesn't mean you're going to like it later. Because some of the socks in here, back then I was like, oh, that's the most beautiful sock I've ever seen. Someday I want to knit that sock when I'm able to. And now I look at it and go, So, you know, I guess my tip is, just because you can't knit something now doesn't mean you won't ever be able to. As you knit, you will learn things, and things will get easier for you, and you will have more confidence, and you will be able to knit things that you weren't able to before. So another part of my tip is, go back through your books occasionally and look and see what catches your eye, because just because you didn't like it then doesn't mean you wouldn't like it now, and just because you did like it then doesn't mean you do like it now. And your tastes change, your abilities change. So keep going through your knitting books to see what catches your eye, and because you'll forget, you know, what's in there, or maybe you didn't like it before and now you do like it. I know you know what I'm trying to say. But anyway, that's my tip, is as you grow as a knitter, keep going through your knitting patterns and see what catches your eye, because you might like something unexpected. Here are some chevron patterns for self-striping yarns. And this is an example of one of the socks that I saw. I was like, oh my gosh, I must knit that sock. And now I'm like, eh. She does have some Fair Isle in here. I haven't done any of them yet. But she does have some pretty cool Fair Isle patterns in here. I don't really do Fair Isle socks. I mean, I want to. I like the idea of it. But it's not really that practical in Florida because they're, you know, so much heavier. So maybe I should just do the cuffs or something like that. Now, this sock down here is the one that's on the cover of the book, and I will be knitting this sock someday. This is one of those socks. This is the sock that made me say, I must knit it, and I still want to knit it. Here it is on the front cover so you can see it better. And I just haven't thought recently. Excuse me, my nose is itching. I haven't thought recently about pulling this book out, so these she calls mosaic patterns. And these are just a couple. I mean, she does have various variations of these socks. My friend Michelle, who is my knitting mentor, she lives in Rhode Island now, but she had never knit socks, but she's been knitting forever and a day. So her first pair of socks that she ever knit was, I believe, was this pair of socks. I could be wrong and it was another, but I know it was in this section of the book, but it blew my mind. She had never knit a sock before, and she knit something that complicated. But for her, it was like no big deal, you know. So, and I didn't teach her how to knit socks. I just basically gave her the book and she did it. So, because what am I going to teach her? She, you know, she knows way more than I do. Anyway, so that is the book review. I highly recommend it. Sensational Knitted Socks. I love, love, love that book, and it's very good for beginner sock knitters. It's mostly cuffed down. Sorry, my nose keeps itching. I think she has a couple of toe-up things, and that, I learned cuff down, and thinking about knitting toe-up when I was first knitting, that blew my mind. But I think when you get to the 5-stitch patterns is when she had some that were, yeah, she shows you how to do like a short row toe and stuff like that, which totally blew my mind back then. So, so there, I was like, well, I can't knit any 5-stitch patterns. I don't know how to do that. So, So YouTube is your friend. If you don't know how to do something in knitting, go look it up on YouTube, and there'll probably be 20 videos, and if one video doesn't help you, look at a different video, because, different people have different camera angles and lighting and ways of explaining things. So I think I'm rambling. I need to move on. Okay. That was the book review. Spinning. I have a lot of spinning to talk about. Monica, who is Beltway Spinner, who won a prize earlier, sent me a message and told me that this Saturday, September 15th, is Worldwide Spin in Public Day. There is a Ravelry group, and so you can do a search for that, and a lot of people are going to be having events and stuff. I haven't even really thought about what I'm going to do, or if I'm even going to do anything, because I know I'll be spinning the following weekend at the hotel. So, I don't know. I haven't even thought about it. So, if you have a fun idea for what I could do for Worldwide Spin in Public Day, let me know. Okay, so I have done quite a bit of spinning recently because I haven't really felt like knitting. When my head hurts, spinning doesn't hurt my head. For some reason, sometimes when I have a really bad headache, I can't knit, but I can spin. So, it's actually relaxing. So I'm going to show you a few things that I've finished. First, I think the last time I showed this to you, I might have applied it, but it was still on the bobbin. This is some BFL from Highland Handmaids, and it's very soft. It's a little bit, well, there you go, the color's pretty accurate there. It's really, really soft. So I might be knitting this in October to celebrate Pinktober with the Knitting Den and the Knit Nerd on their podcasts. It's very, very squishy. Very squishy. So I love that. I did count that yardage, and that was 300 yards that I got from that. Next is half of this I had spun during Tour de Fleece, and then the other half I just did. This is a bat from Unwind Yarn Company. It's one of the Kaleidoscope bats. Unwind Yarn Company. And so, I don't remember which is which, but half of it I had spun during Tour de Fleece, and I finished it up. And this is actually going to go to Jan's hands. She's a member of the Ravelry group, and she had won a few months ago for the, actually I think she might have won, I don't remember, July maybe? July or June. The fitness along, it doesn't really matter, does it? She won the fitness along, and she wanted me, she chose dyed yarn, and she wanted me to dye some yarn. She specifically said she wanted it dyed this color, and I'm like, well, how about if I finish spinning this and send you this? So this is going to be making its way to Canada, and the poor thing has had to wait for me to show it to you guys before I can send it to her. So Jan, I will finally be getting this out in the mail to you. But I really like how it turns out. It's got some copper sparkle in it. Sort of see, like right there's a piece of copper going through, and it's very lightweight. This would make a nice cowl or something because it's very soft. So that, I don't think I counted the yardage on that one. I did half of the purple sparkle bat that I got from Tina at the Knitting Blooms podcast, and here that is. This, I know, is going to be knit into a toy in October for Diane from Knittables and Jenna from Retro Lemon podcast are having a joint monster knit along. So that's what this is going to be in October, because green and purple are sort of Halloween colors. It's going to be a Halloween monster. I don't know which monster or toy I'm going to do yet. That's what that's going to be. And I still have half of it left. I did half of the batch. This is what it looked like before. And what I did is I pulled the pink apart from the green. Pink. Purple. I pulled the purple apart from the green, and I spun them separately as singles, and then I plied them so you can see. Here we go. So that's a green single and a purple single plied together. Can you tell my brain's not working? And the clouds are coming in, so I can tell. Oh, sure. This makes me not be able to think, and I have trouble with that anyway. And then, this is something that I had dyed I dyed 2 of them. One of them is in the Etsy shop, and then this one I spun. This is a colorway called Oh Happy Day that I dyed a few weeks ago. And I love how this turned out. I might actually list this in the Etsy shop for sale. But if somebody doesn't buy it, then I will knit with it. But I really, really like how it barber poled. And it's pretty green. It's got some yellow in it. And it's got some bright areas. But it's called Oh Happy Day. And like I said, I have another bat of this in the, this is merino. And I have another bat of it in the Etsy shop, sockbunnystudios.etsy.com. And I do still have some Halloween DK weight yarn. If you're thinking about doing the knit along with Diane and Retro Lemon, I do have some DK weight yarn that would be good for stuffed animals, and it's in Halloween colors. I really, really like how this turned out. And then I did start another thing that I had listed in the shop, and I pulled it out of the shop. I'm my own best customer. This is a thing I'm doing called Dye Your Own Gradient. And this colorway I'm calling Where's the Fire? It's 4 colors. I've pulled these in half already, so it's I've already spun half of this. It's black, and then I did orange, because you can put them in any order you want. And yes, it's that orange. Black and orange. No, wait, I did black and then red. And then orange. And then yellow. So it's, I have a single already on the bobbin of this. And so then I'll finish this. And then I'll apply them together, and so it's going to be a gradient, and I'm really excited to see how that turns out. And this, again, is the Australian wool. I do have some other design your own gradients in the shop, if you want to check that out. Okay, so that's my spinning. I've been spinning a lot, like I said. Now, the section called Look What I Made, I am very excited because I finished a project I've been working on for a few months. This is my bag that I call Fish with Lips. And the only thing I need to do is to line the inside of the bag. I'm going to put some sort of, I can't think. I'm going to put fabric inside it because the inside of the bag is, you know, has all these strings. I should really be ashamed of that, but I'm not. Has all these strings, and I don't want something, if I stick it in the bag, to get stuck on it. So I'm going to put like some sort of fabric behind it so that it will protect it. And then this also, it needs to be ironed, I think. I love Fish with Lips. So I finished that, and I started my very next project already. I had several books, and I was looking through them. I really wanted to do something Christmassy. And I was thinking about doing like a nativity or whatever, and I was at the store. I was actually at Joann's craft store, and I saw this book, and it said Snowmen Through the Year. And I was like, snowmen, they're okay. They don't really do that much for me. Then I saw a particular snowman and said, okay, I have to, well, I went, and then I said, okay, I have to get this one. So here's the picture. There we go. It is a snowman dressed up as a bunny, and I could leave this out all year because it's a bunny, and it's Christmassy and Eastery because he's holding an Easter basket, and there's a little tiny bunny at the bottom, and I love this. So I've already started it, but there's no point in showing it to you because the part that I've done is this part right here, which is white and gray, and you won't be able to see anything anyway. But I did make significant progress on this on Friday, so I am very, very happy. Very, very, very happy. And if you have ever done cross stitch or not done cross stitch, this is a tip. And I don't want to show too much of this because I don't want you to be able to see the pattern, but I'll fold up a lot of this. I make a copy of it, and then as I do the stitches, I highlight them or color them in with marker so that I know where I am. And that's how I do it. Otherwise, it's really taxing on the brain. So that's how I do it when I do cross stitch, to keep track of where I am. Makes it easier. Okay, so that's it for Look What I Made. Stash enhancement. I do have some things to show there. As I mentioned earlier, Dawn from Wolf Farms is having a fall harvest. I can't remember what she called it. Cakewalk harvest something knit along. Anyway, she explains it in her podcast or in her group. But one of the things that it is you use cakewalk yarns, which I've wanted to use for a while anyway, because she has definitely a distinct dyeing style, which I'll show you in a second. The cool thing is she has the specific colorway, which I got, and it's called Sincerest. And if you go over to the Wolf Farms podcast, you'll find out why it's called that and all that kind of stuff. It's really pretty. If you use this colorway, you can enter your finished object twice. If you use any other cakewalk yarn, you can enter your finished object once. So, of course, I kind of double my odds because, you know, I love to enter contests and knit-alongs. So, without further ado, here is the yarn. And it's called Sincerest. It's actually based on a Charlie Brown Halloween storybook. And oh my gosh, I cannot wait to cast on with this yarn. And I wanted to show you, here's her business card, Cakewalk Yarn. And then here's her contact information. Etsy.com/shop/cakewalkyarns. I love this yarn. It is her Footsie Base, 460 yards, 100 grams, 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. And like I said, the colorway is Sincerest, and she even sent a button, which I love. I haven't decided what I'm going to make, but I'm thinking about making a cowl. One of those long cowls that you can wrap around several times. I think this is really pretty, but don't you love how she dyes? Look, she's got like these spots in here. I don't even know how she does that. I don't know if she splatters it or what, but oh, this is just so awesome because it's purple, but it's got black and darker purple and orange and green, and oh, I love it. So I'm really looking forward to this knit along. I need to decide what I'm going to do. I'm leaning towards Calvo. Okay, so that was the first thing for stash enhancement. I also got my Knit Girls Afghan Square Swap Square. My person is, her online name on Ravelry is Jpeled, Jpeled. She's Jessica. I know that she has a podcast, but I haven't had a chance to listen to it yet. I think it's Knitting Brooklyn. It's an audio podcast. I've heard about her from other podcasters, and I've heard really good things. And she's on my list. I have a list of podcasts I want to get to, and I just haven't yet. I keep that list on my phone. So she sent me an awesome square. I'm going for like Americana colors like red, white, and blue, brown, cream. So this is my square, and she made it with Lion Brand woolies. And since she lives in New York, I guess she must be near the Lion Brand store. She sent me a card because their studio is in New York City. So I'm assuming she visited there. She said that the square has gone camping with her. The square has a more exciting life than I do. Okay, and she sent some Post-it notes and some soap, which I have never gotten to try. And this is in the Celebration scent, and that's the scent I would buy if I was going to buy some. And she also sent an awesome tape measure. And this one I'm actually going to attach to my keys, my car keys. Because I can never find a keychain. I mean, I can never find a tape measure, and this way I'll always know where one is. So here we go. Very excited. So thank you, Jessica, for that. Love it. Love, love, love. Oh, this is the card she sent. So I guess her podcast gets moved to the top, and she's the next one to check out when I have time to check out a new podcast. Okay, so that's my Knit Girls Afghan Square Swap Square. We have one more to do for this round, It's due to go out October 20th, so I need to get on mine. I know my next one is going to be green. So if you chose green as one of your colors, I might be knitting for you. And then I got a box yesterday from Heidi, who is Cookie Lady Knits. She sent a hat for the charity, the men's hat charity, which I will be talking about shortly. But she also sent some other goodies, so I want to show those to you. First, I'll show you the hats. I do have some hats from other people to show you. Sorry, my nose is itching again. So she sent 2 hats, which I really like. This one's awesome. I don't look that good in hats, but I like this one. Very cool. She also sent a blue one. Oh yeah, the hair looks great now. Sent a blue one. So thank you, Heidi, for those. And there's a contest going on with these for Woolmiza. I'll be mentioning that again in a minute, but if you want to try to win some Woolmiza, send me a man's hat. Washable. Okay. Put those there. So she sent a little bunch of little goodies. Now I have fiber on my face. Okay. She was gifted some bear yarn, and she sent that to me to dye. So thank you for that. She said that she would probably never dye it. She also sent some pencils, and I collect pencils if you're a new viewer. These are very pretty. And she sent a little bunny notepad shaped like a bunny. She also sent a bunch of postcards because I collect postcards. I collect a lot of things. But she sent the most adorable card. It has a doggy on it. Adorable. That just makes me smile. Oh, I just want to kiss it. Kiss the doggy. Okay, so she sent me a few postcards. I want to show them to you. This is, she put a note on here. This is supposedly the #1 selling San Francisco postcard. The crookedest street in the world. In San Francisco. That's pretty crooked. And then she sent another one. Telluride, Colorado, heaven on earth, my #1 favorite place. And that does look awesome. I've never been to Colorado, but I want to go. I'll be talking more about Colorado coming up shortly. Big Sky, Montana, in my opinion, the coldest place on earth. Another Big Sky, Montana. It's so pretty. And I'm sure the pictures do not do it justice. And then this is from a trip that she took way back in 2001. Venice, I'm assuming. Yes. That's another place that I want to go in the world that I haven't been. And this is also from the 2001 trip, Innsbruck. Austria. So thank you for the postcards from my collection. I love it, and I love the commentaries on them. That really makes it awesome. So thank you, Heidi, for all of that, and especially for knitting the hats for charity. That's very, very, very much appreciated. So that's my stash enhancement. Okay, stash enhancement is over. We are now on to... let's see, tips and tricks I already talked about, looking through your old knitting books. Now I want to recap the charity that I have going on. The charity is going on August, September, October. If I have them in my hands, October 31st, Halloween Day, you will be eligible for the prize drawing. The prize drawing is for a skein of Woolmiza, most likely blue, and starting in October, I will start stocking and trying to get some. My hair's messed up. I'll be start stocking and trying to get some Woolmiza, most likely blue, because I know that's a pretty universal color that most people like. I'm collecting men's hats, washable. They can be washable wool or acrylic. I'm also collecting scarves, and it's for a local charity in the next county over. It's called Pinellas Hope. It's like it's a homeless shelter, but they do like background checks on the people, and they follow up with them after they leave and stuff like that. It's run by the Catholic Diocese of St. Petersburg, which is the 4 counties that we're in right here. That's our diocese that we're in. So it's run by the Catholic Diocese, and I will be taking the hats over the first week in November. So if you are interested in winning some woolmeisa, send me men's hats and scarves. It needs to be masculine colors and no lace, and washable. Those are the only rules. And it could be, like I said, scarves or hats. I did also receive some other hats. I had received these hats the last time I podcast, and I totally forgot to show them. They were sitting right here, and I forgot to show them, so I have to apologize to Enid. She sent me 5 men's hats. Knit Croc, I think that's how you say her name, but she sent me 5 men's hats. She lives in England, so I like these. And then here's another one. And it's good that they're various sizes because, you know, people's heads are not all one size fits all. Another one. So she sent 5. There you go. So thank you, Enid. Enid is a great participant in my knit along. So thank you, Enid, as usual, for supporting the podcast. I really appreciate it. And I also received a hat from Deb Knits Too. And this one, it's sort of hard to tell probably in this light, but it does have a stripe. This one's really squishy. So thank you, everybody who has donated hats so far, and everybody who is in the process of knitting hats. I know a few people have contacted me to let me know that they're in the process of making hats. Okay, so now we're going to move into favorite things. And this favorite thing I had to talk about this week. It was actually John's idea, my bunny. When my husband and I first got married, well, my husband's a huge football fan. He loves the Steelers. And especially when we first got married, if football was on, he was watching it. He's gotten better. He doesn't watch as much as he used to, but back then, every college game, every NFL game, you name it, if it was football and it was on, he was watching it. So, a lot of football was going on in our house, and John, since he's a real person, he had to pick a football team to start following. And back then, John Elway was the quarterback for the Denver Broncos, and I thought he was cute, so that's who John picked. John picked the Denver Broncos. So that's my favorite thing this week is the Denver Broncos. Denver, Colorado, if you're outside the United States. And John has a Denver t-shirt that is like way old. It's actually an adult size small. I used to wear it to work and stuff on sports days and that kind of stuff. Adult t-shirt. So he puts that on sometimes during the game, which basically his head just sticks out. But also he has a Denver Broncos mug. And the cool thing is, Sunday night football, John's team, the Denver Broncos, played my husband's team, the Steelers, and there's always some trash talk going on before and during the game and after. And statistically, I think the Steelers win more when they play each other, but on Sunday night, the Broncos won. So John had a very, very, very good time telling Joe how horrible his team is and all that kind of stuff. So John especially doesn't like the Steelers because they've played each other in the playoffs, and John swears that the Steelers cheated when they won and all that kind of stuff. So it's something that makes all of us at my house laugh a lot during football season. Makes football season bearable is the rivalry between Joe and John. So John is very happy this week because his Broncos won. And Joe's not too upset because it's early in the season. He's like, whatever, But I think if it was later in the season, he might be more upset. I've actually seen Joe cry over football games. Cry. One of the things I don't like about sports is that if you really get into sports, you're giving somebody else control over your emotions. Like if your team loses, you're going to be in a bad mood, and you have zero control over that. So that's one of the things I don't like about sports fanatics is, that they let somebody else have complete control over their emotional situation. So that's just me. But I know it's a good stress reliever for a lot of people to scream at the TV and all that kind of stuff. I totally understand that. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying I choose not to be that way. Okay, so last section of the podcast, what I am watching and reading. The new season of Doctor Who started on September 1st, and so they've had 2 episodes, and I really liked both of them. Some people have said that they didn't like them very much, but I thought they were fine. The second episode wasn't that exciting, but I have a feeling that they were laying the groundwork for some future stuff, because that's how Doctor Who works. Something that might not seem important in an episode later will come back and be very, very important. So you never know what is going to happen. The episode that they're going to have this week is like an Old West type episode, and that looks really good. I did start watching Star Trek The Next Generation. I have Amazon Prime instead of Netflix, and they didn't have Star Trek The Original Series. When I finished Star Trek The Original Series, I moved from Netflix to Amazon, and they didn't have it on there. And I was okay because I had already seen it. Well, just like maybe a week ago, they said on Amazon that they now have the original series, and I was like, I really want to go back and watch the original series because I love Captain Kirk. But I decided I will be good, and I'll watch Star Trek The Next Generation. And then if I want to go back and watch the original series again, I can, because I need to branch out and not just only love Captain Kirk. But I have seen a lot of episodes, but I've never sat down and watched the show in order. So it's really good. And some of the characters, I think are very well developed. I really like the captain, Jean-Luc Picard, and I think he's a great actor. So far I'm enjoying it. I think I've watched like 7 or 8 episodes in season 1. I think there are 7 seasons of the next generation. So that's it. This was almost an hour. Sorry, I guess because I took a couple weeks off. This is a long one. I hope that you have a great week. Thanks for watching. I hope that you will come back again. Have a great week and keep on crafting. Bye.